Thank you for staying with us. Residents from the town of Soufrière now get to enjoy the spoils of the joint effort put forth by the government of St. Lucia and Taiwan. On Friday the 5th of April, the Soufrière Park was officially made an open space for locals and visitors to enjoy. More in this report from Solange Alfred.
The sword turning for the Hummingbird Beach Park, located in Soufrière, played host to many government officials and dignitaries on Friday 5th April. The park includes a restaurant, spa, smoothie bar, pizzeria, souvenir shop, and outdoor showers. Parliamentary representative for Soufrière, Harold Stanislas, notes that the idea behind the development of Hummingbird Beach Park stemmed from a need to reroute the abundance of visitors of two particular areas in Soufrière.
We realized that the two beaches in Soufrière, and Chassenay and Sugar Beach, were being overused by visitors, tourists from the north. And that we needed an additional space, an additional beach in Soufrière where we could divert some of those tourists instead of flocking those two beaches. We immediately identified Hummingbird Beach, which is right here, where you are today. And if you look over here, you could see what the beach looked like back then. We identified this location because it was very close to the town, about 4 minutes walk to town. Beautiful beach with white sand, gray sand, whatever you want to call it. Superb view of our iconic Petit Piton.
Minister for Economic Development and Acting Prime Minister Guy Joseph expressed his enthusiasm with the official opening of Hummingbird Beach Park.
This is a moment of celebration. This is a moment of achievement and accomplishment. This is indeed a great moment for the people of Soufrière. And as I sat and listened to the presentation by the Honorable Parliamentary Representative Harold Stanislas, I was tempted to ask the question, how many terms has he been representing Soufrière for the list of things that I heard him outline?
Other projects implemented by Stanislas include the Sulphur Spring expansion and Soufrière Town Square. The sword turning for Hummingbird Beach Park involved the unveiling of a plaque showing the joint efforts between the Taiwanese government and St. Lucia. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Former Commerce Minister Emma Hippolyte calls for another revision of the island's Tourism Incentives Act, which grants cabinets more power to compete with other tourism destinations in order to attract investments. The current state of affairs, she says, makes way for an unleveled playing field. Former Commerce Minister Emma Hippolyte has called for yet another revision of the St. Lucia Tourism Incentive Act to ensure that small local businesses reap the rewards of their hard work. The act was recently amended to grant cabinets more power to compete with other tourism destinations in order to attract investments. This has raised concerns that larger organizations will be granted greater incentives while the smaller and local businesses suffer. Hippolyte said it will always be a ticklish subject.
There is significant adjustments to be made in the tourism incentive for St. Lucians. And if the government thinks so, then they should just get to look at the act, do it over, and let Parliament debate it. As people will always look at it in a very suspicious manner. And the transparency must be there. That is what people have elected parliamentarians. Debate it and let the public hear what it is so that we know up front, anybody wanting to go into any tourism project ought to know what incentives they should receive or are entitled to. But when you have it that way, then somebody you have to go and negotiate. And that is where people do all types of crazy things in this world.
When asked whether local businesses should benefit greater from said incentives, Hippolyte said there is a definite need for change in incentive distribution.
We need to be more conscious of the efforts of our local persons and the struggles that they are going through. And at the moment, as you know it, all the incentives are going to the large investors from outside. And we are not focusing sufficiently on our small business people and try to see how we can give them a helping hand in these difficult times. And we need to do that.
Hippolyte said the playing field needs to be leveled as the current state of affairs is not fair. The government, she said, should do all in its power to correct the anomaly. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez. In a press release coming from the Ministry of Education, the Department of Education would like to inform parents and guardians who registered their child or ward for kindergarten for the academic year of 2019 to 2020 to report to the District 2 and District 3 education offices to obtain the results of their child or ward's kindergarten placement for Wednesday the 10th of April through to Friday 12th of April 2019 from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. For the following schools: Ave Maria Girls Infant, Anglican Infant, St. Aloysius RC Boys Infant, Vidboutet Combined, Camille Henry Memorial, and Gordon Walcott Memorial. The Department of Education, Innovation and Gender Relations wishes to thank parents and guardians for their patience and cooperation. You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. Tennis in Glasgow is up next with all the sporting action.